Any human who consumes between 12 and 30 teaspoons of excess sugar increases their risk of dying by 33%. Americans, on average, consume over 20 teaspoons of excess sugar every single day. That's according to the Healthy Food America organization. Do you know how much sugar you're consuming, and do you know what it's doing to your body and mind? I learned how sugar can affect me at a young age. I was obese and pre-diabetic at the age of 13. This personal life experience has given me an understanding of what sugar was doing to my body, which allowed me to make educated decisions and necessary changes so that I can avoid as many risk factors as possible. Now, there's a laundry list of risk factors for consuming too much sugar, but I will be focusing on three very important ones, which are weight gain, diabetes, and depression. First, let's talk about how sugar affects body weight. Now, yes, the overconsumption of sugar can lead to weight gain, but I'm going to speak about two prevalent examples for how weight is gained, and those are sugary drinks and hormone resistance. Consuming sugary drinks such as juice or soda can and will directly affect body weight. The average amount of sugar in juice and soda is between 20 and 30 grams, which is approximately 5 to 7 teaspoons. It's best to drink water as often as possible and avoid these kinds of beverages. The hormone leptin is vital in maintaining body weight and regulating hunger. Leptin is released from body fat, so that means the more body fat you have, the more leptin you have. When you are in leptin resistance, the brain is constantly being stimulated by the hormone, which means it's unable to suppress your appetite when it needs to. This results in the inability to feel the sensation of fullness, and the body feels like it's in a constant state of hunger, which will lead to the overconsumption of food because your brain is telling you that you're still hungry. So it's important to avoid sugary beverages to keep weight and body fat at bay. Keeping body fat off is important because more body fat leads to leptin resistance, which will result in weight gain. The next risk factor of over-consuming sugar can also be a result of the first risk factor. Type 2 diabetes can be acquired by the intake of too much sugar. The root cause of type 2 diabetes is related to a hormone called insulin. Symptoms can vary and can also take a long time to develop and progress, but once diagnosed, management of the disease is what's important. Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas in order to regulate blood sugar. When you eat, the sugar in your blood increases, which signals the pancreas to release the amount of insulin needed to bring sugar levels down in your blood down to normal. In type 2 diabetes, your pancreas is overworked and it cannot produce enough insulin to bring the levels of sugar in your blood down, resulting in insulin resistance. According to the CDC, symptoms of type 2 diabetes can vary and may take a while to develop. Some symptoms include frequent urination, especially at nighttime, blurry vision, tiredness, and thirstiness. Sometimes these symptoms go unnoticeable for years before they really present themselves. There are a couple ways to manage type 2 diabetes. You can prevent and manage with either healthier eating habits and physical activity, but most type 2 diabetics have to manage with external insulin via oral or injectable medications. So, the root cause of type 2 diabetes is a hormone called insulin that can become resistant in your body if your blood sugar is too high. The symptoms can vary and might not present for a long time. Managing type 2 diabetes can be as easy as a pill or a shot, but a good diet and exercise are two of the most natural ways to prevent and assist in the management of type 2 diabetes. The last risk factor I'm going to speak about can be detrimental to one's mental health. Depression is a common risk factor for the high consumption of sugar. Researchers can make a connection between high consumptions of sugar and depression. Both men and women experience these correlations between sugar intake and their mental health. A Healthline article reviewed by a medical professional mentions that it's believed that a chronically disrupted dopamine system can occur due to high sugar intake. So, dopamine levels are directly linked to mental health and depression. The very same Healthline article also mentions two studies that were done, one on men and one on women, both reporting the same correlations: high sugar intake, higher risk of developing depression. Weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and depression are three of the many dangerous risk factors that exist due to the overconsumption of sugar. In conclusion, gaining weight on its own is not good for your body, but anything that stems from the increase of sugar intake and body weight, such as type 2 diabetes, makes weight gain that much more dangerous. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented or managed with diet, exercise, or medications that regulate blood sugar. It's important to understand that when there are excess amounts of sugar in your body, depression has a higher chance of creeping into your mental, regardless if you are male or female. High sugar intake has a laundry list of risk factors, yet Americans have such a high sugar consumption and are dying from it every single day. Now that you are informed on just three risk factors, will you try to reduce your sugar consumption in order to avoid them?